Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the Queers of Time podcast.
I'm Matt.
I'm James.
I'm Kenny.
And I'm Kat.
And this is a podcast to talk about all the gay stuff in the Wheel of Time.
Because we're gay and we like the Wheel of Time. And as always, thank you to our feral venator of Surains, Lurks, Charlie, and John. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of our patrons. We always appreciate the support.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Today, we are going to continue our great reread of The Gathering Storm, and today's chapters are particularly spicy, and no, I don't mean that in the silly book talk watered down definition of the word. I mean, they are balls to the wall, Egwene going badass, and other Aes Sedai going badass, in a little kinky way here and there, chapters. So, without further ado, no more of the ados, let's get into it.
Honestly, it's good that you're mentioning the Aes Sedai because it is 3 chapters with 3 great POV from Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And then there's a POV from someone that we're like, what are you doing there?
It felt very out of place, but let's look at it. Yeah.
Also ran.
I don't know. I liked the parent point of view.
Did you?
Did you? I was like,
Not much happened.
nothing happened there. But first things first.
Okay.
Let's start with chapter 16, called In the White Tower, which is an Egwene-centric chapter. And what a chapter! I honestly thought this thing was gonna happen way later in the book. I don't know why. I didn't remember it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to happen this early because I could have sworn it was much later. Like, in the last recording, Kat was like, when we get to the chapter where Egwene calls Elaida a coward, we should make sure we're all together. And I had messaged her like a day later being like, I just read the chapter. It's this chapter.
Yeah. And I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. Because at first we were not supposed to be able to record all together due to some timing issue. But we saw what those chapters were and we were like, no, we need to be all together.
Yeah, it needed to be all 4 of us for these ones at least.
Yeah. There's some happenings in this groupings of chapters that we needed to all be here to discuss.
So yeah, in this one, do you want to go ahead and do the summary?
Sure. So this chapter 16, there's pretty much 3 parts to it. In the first part, Egwene is assisting a few White Sisters, basically opening walnuts for them. And some of them are very specific about their walnuts, which was interesting. But they have a good discussion on what the Aes Sedai should have done regarding Rand. We could maybe start with that, or do you want the whole summary of the chapter?
Let's do the whole summary, and then we can go. Yeah.
And right after that moment with those White Sisters, Egwene gets assigned to a lot of kitchen work, a lot of physical labor, because Elaida is considering that she must not be tired enough, that she still has some time to not. I wanted to say bend, but it's not bend, but like, you know, when you're doing the head movement to salute someone. Bowing.
Oh, to bow. Yeah.
Curtsy.
Yeah, curtsy. She doesn't curtsy enough to Aes Sedai, so Elaida is mad. So she's like, let's not give her any time at all anymore to talk to anyone and just do physical labor, basically 16 hours a day, something like that. So she ends up in the kitchen, to which she discovers that Laras is trying to get her out, and Egwene doesn't even consider it. She basically just like, no girl, I still have work to do here. I'm gonna stick around. And then a dinner happened. Egwene is sent to assist Elaida for her dinner. She finds out that there's a lot of sitters from different Aja at the dinner. She has a minute of thinking, oh, maybe I misjudged Elaida, and she's actually trying to brings the Ajas together. But no, Elaida just spent her time bitching about all of the Ajas and Egwene snap. And that's pretty much the chapter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good summary.
Yeah. No, it's good. I don't know. I really enjoy seeing Egwene working with the Aes Sedai of the various Ajas. Like, that's been a highlight for me, reading these early chapters with Egwene, and just impressing each of them and being offered a spot pretty much in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's collecting Aja memberships like Pokemon.
Yes.
And it's funny to me every single time how, like, the Aes Sedai every single time will be like, so, say I had this friend, and this friend had this particular situation. What would you tell this fictional friend, this hypothetical friend? What would you tell them to do? And it's just like, Egwene's like, okay, we're still doing this? We're still pretending here? Okay. So your friend should do this.
I'm just realizing that this is pretty much the same tactics that the wise ones are using with Avienda.
Mm-hmm.
But Avienda doesn't get that this means the wise ones are treating her like a wise one. And Egwene definitely gets that, oh yeah, am I really a novice to you? Because that sounds very specific.
Yeah. I mean, that's just because Egwene is better than Avienda.
God. I mean, you said it, not me.
We have opinion on this podcast. Yeah, something that I like that comes up every time she's talking to the two sisters of other Aja is how to bring all of the Ajas back together, or to bridge the gap that has been created between all of those Aja. And it's a topic that she constantly bring back. And I really like that angle because it's so easy. Like, it would be easy to just be all about Elaida and, oh, she's doing a bad job and this kind of thing. And then it would be just, oh, but like, it would be easy from the other side to just say, well, you just don't like her and that's it.
Right.
It is what it is. But by focusing it on, have you seen what she's doing to the White Tower? Everyone, like, it's a lot easier to show some of the failure and how everyone can have an impact on those and bridge that gap in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think it's interesting how Egwene is very single-minded, but not in a bad way. She's just very, she's doing her thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's she's also prioritizing too, because she recognizes, okay, yes, the last battle is coming. This is important, but we need to get the White, and that's why the White Tower being united is so vital right now. Because if the last battle comes and the White Tower is still divided, we're fucked. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so it's impressive to see how, and also, like, I mean, I've always known that Egwene is passionate about the White Tower, but I think it really shines through just how deep that passion is. It's not just like that she wants to be Amyrlin. She deeply cares about the White Tower and about the White Tower being whole specifically. And so it's cool to see her character development. And I think this is kind of the climax for her.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. And I like how she's always changing a little bit her speech based on which Aja she's talking to. Like with the yellow, it was a lot about healing the tower.
Mm-hmm.
With the brown, she would bring up historical events where the tower was divided and what impact it would have. With the white, she's having this very logical and detailed reasoning on what she would do and why the way things are right now doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And with the green Aja, she's like, more sex for everybody.
And that's why she's having some problem with the green Aja.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my
That's because she is of all Ajas and none, and she's doing it the right way.
That's right. And I know we're not at that chapter yet, but I feel like it's the way that Egwene handles the Ajas is a really good contrast to Swan's realization later on in her chapter of her realization of, oh, I kind of dropped the ball in uniting the tower.
Right.
It's a really good contrast, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked seeing Lara, skipping ahead to the next portion of Egwene's chapter, I like seeing Lara, like, I always had a thing for, like, I'm not into Laris as a fictional character. I just think that she's a really fun, like, mistress of the kitchens, like, is a fun little role. So I like seeing that she has her own little thing going on. Like, she smuggles girls out of the tower when they're being treated unfairly and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she likes hard work and good work, but she doesn't like it when it becomes unfair.
Right.
And she sees that what's going on with Egwene is definitely unfair for what she sees just as a kid. Like, Egwene is still a kid for her. Even if Egwene, in reality, is the Armyanin, that's not how Laras sees her. And as a result, she's like, this is bullshit. You should go. Let me help you out.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think Laris has been doing this for a very long time because she's older. Like, she doesn't channel, so she has a regular lifespan, but she's probably been doing this for a couple of decades and stuff.
She's a professional smuggler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And these skills I guess she could have learned them as she sort of worked in the tower and whatnot, but she feels very proficient in these because I think even Egwene remarks, like, suddenly Laris was there. Like, she snuck up on Egwene and Egwene didn't hear her come in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels like she has a very significant skill set. I don't know where she learned it from, but I just find her so intriguing. I think she's a really cool side character, and I like that we don't learn anything more about her, really. She's still kind of this mystery. We don't know her background. We just know that she is the mistress of the kitchens, and that's it. And she, occasionally smuggles girls out of the tower, and that's it. And she's sneaky.
And is probably more terrifying than any of the Forsaken if you cross her.
Absolutely.
I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if that tradition of smuggling girls out of the tower was a tradition between, like, mistress of the kitchen. Like, you would have the apprentice mistress of the kitchen being taught how to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Secrets being transmitted. I don't know. I feel like that would be pretty great because we know that a lot of girls actually left the tower and still ended up channeling elsewhere because that's basically what we all find out is in Edubar.
Yeah, the Ken.
Mm-hmm. The Ken, yeah.
So Laris, definitely not the first person to do that.
No.
But she's the most badass one to do it.
She is the most badass one, in my opinion, to do it.
Agreed.
I also like just this, like, incredibly large woman just, like, tiptoeing about and being like, sneaky bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love it.
And then we get to the infamous dinner scene.
Oh my god.
Most satisfying.
Which has all of the Ajas except for red and blue, because the blue Aja has been disbanded, and I think Elaida is serving as the red Aja.
Yes.
Essentially.
Because that's how it works.
Because of course she is.
Of course. I really found it so funny. Yes, Egwene for a minute think, oh, maybe I misjudged Elaida. And then very quickly, Elaida proved her wrong.
Yeah.
As soon as she opened her mouth, Egwene was like, oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. And also, I love that it's, like, Egwene is not feeling threatened necessarily by Elaida. It's more, like, frustrated. She's like, God damn it, you're gonna ruin all my shit. I just got all my ducks in a row almost, and you are going to ruin it now. And now I have to think on my feet. It's like, it's more that frustration than like, oh my god, is like, what's going to happen to me, which is great.
I had a plan, girl. I had a plan. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Well, improvisation time it is.
It's, you know what it kind of reminded me of? Sorry, I'm going to talk about D&D for a second here. It's like when you're playing D&D and you're in a combat and you have like, you know exactly what you're going to do. You have like your spells sorted out. You know what you're going to do. And then the person right before you does some fuckery, does something ridiculous. And you're just like, well, and then the DM is like, okay, so your turn next. And you're like, I
was going to.
Well, I was going to do this, but not anymore. That's very much Egwene's energy there, I think.
Yeah.
I was just very impressed by how Egwene always had a counter to what Elaida was going to do. Like, Elaida was going to gag her with air, and she was like, what, you can't listen to me speak? And Amerlin should be able to listen to me speak. Like, you're going to, like, beat me? Like, and you're going to resort to the one power to beat me? Wow. You suck as Amerlin.
Yeah. It's also interesting that the things that get Egwene to start speaking is being interrogated about the Ascension. Because she's been warning about that as much as she can. And Elaida is just about how she's been spreading lies for your friend, Ren Altho.
Oh, Elaida. What a ridiculous, messy bitch. I mean, like, talk about crashing out. Elaida was...
Elaida was looking it very quickly.
Yeah.
And couldn't keep up with how quickly she was losing it.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was, like, she's looking around and seeing the other Ajas agreeing with Egwene, and it's just like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
It makes her so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so mad.
It was really cathartic. It was a very cathartic scene to read, especially the last, things. With things happening, it was very cathartic to hear a complete and total moron who's just the absolute worst get their ass handed to them verbally by someone who is much more capable. And Egwene is just awesome. Just generally awesome.
And, I mean, Elaida really only has herself to blame in a sense that she really thought that one day of physical labor for Egwene would be enough to get her to bow in a dinner and do whatever she says. I'm like, girl, she's been there for months by now. You should know better. You should have known better.
It was the stupidest thing because, like, she's been there for months, and also she was tortured by the Sanchan, and also she grew up in a farming community where she probably did 15 hours of hard labor anyways. So, like, what was the goal here, Elaida? What were you hoping to accomplish?
And also she's been having punishments with Sylviana for, like, multiple times a day for months. What do you think is going to happen? Like, even Elaida beating up Egwene at the end of it. Like, you've been training that girl to not show weaknesses against pain by constantly beating her up. Like, you just needed to ask Sylviana how Egwene's reaction was to the beating to understand that it was doing nothing. And that beating her up wouldn't do anything.
But see, that's Elaida's fatal flaw, though. She believes that she knows everything. That's the thing. And so she doesn't feel like she needs to ask anyone's opinion on anything. She just assumes that this is the case, and she assumes that she is right. And she's probably thinking, well, if it were me, this is what would work for me, but Egwene is not Elaida. Thank God. Right? And so it's kind of the, in a weird way, it's kind of the opposite realization that Cadsuane has late, like in the next chapter of like, oh wait, we're kind of similar here. This would work for me. So
what are my kinks?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
There's a lot of very interesting things that Egwene does say to Elaida. First about the Ascension, how they definitely shouldn't be, like, they're not working for Rand, and they are dangerous. She talks a little bit about the 3 oaths, or even if she haven't sworn them, she still applies them because she believes in them, which very quickly leads her to talking about the 4th oath that Elaida was talking about putting in. Elaida tried to dismiss that by saying, like, by considering that it was, exaggeration or something like that.
Yeah, or she was, I think she was like, oh, it was just an idea. It was just a thought. It was just an idea, I was just, just tossing it around just to see.
It was idle talk. Just speculation, thoughts spoken out loud.
Exactly. And she gets tripped up.
Yeah, we were going to do a couple of focus groups.
Yes. Exactly.
We were going to do some focus groups, see how people thought about it. It would be great. Make the tower great again.
Oh, no.
No.
She is, that is who she is. That is the vibe, unfortunately.
Yes.
Oof. Oof a doof.
Can we get a similar fate for her real life counterpart?
Wow. Oh my god.
I mean, what would be a similar fate? Because Elaida gets leashed by the Shan Chan. I guess a similar fate would be working at McDonald's in real life.
Yeah.
Which Trump's already done, so...
Has he, though?
No.
Okay.
Isn't he already under the leash of, like, Putin? Isn't that the same thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In a way.
Kinda. Yeah. That's true. That's
Anyway,
fair.
back to the Great Wheel of Time. That's a fantasy world.
Egwene has so many great sentences in that, great quotes. There is often truth in speculation. You locked the Dragon Reborn himself in a box. You just threatened to do the same to me in front of all of these witnesses. People call him a tyrant, but you are the one destroying our laws and ruling by fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
Like I said, every single time Elaida brings something up, like, Egwene's like, okay, well, how about now? Next.
Yeah.
The Hammerling doesn't explain itself to one such as you. The Hammerling understands the most complex of creeds and debates, yet in the end she is the servant of all, even the lowest of laborers. That had been said by Balada Daily, and she's basically giving her an history lesson because she's not doing her job as an Hammerling, and she's showing that she knows her stuff, and she's not just a pawn in the game that was a rebel Aes Sedai put there. It's I love Egwene.
Yeah. It was nice seeing the reactions from the other Aes Sedai who were present and being like, oh, yeah, she has a point actually. Which, I mean, only made Elaida angrier.
So trumpets of war shall sound as his footsteps, the raven fade as his voice, and he shall wear a crown of swords. Elaida frowned, taken aback. The Cadsuane cycle, Elaida.
Yes.
It's like, do you not even know that?
So, not only is Elaida just, arrogant as fuck, she also doesn't read. Which...
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Is Elaida Leah Salonga? Or not Leah Salonga, Leah Michelle.
Not Leah Salonga, Leah Michelle. No, we stand Leah Salonga. She's a good
love
one.
Leah Salonga.
We love her. Leah Michelle.
No, Leah Michelle.
That was a throwback.
No, I just love Egwene in this chapter. It's 10 more chapters before we have an Egwene chapter, unfortunately, after this. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked it up because I was sad.
Oh.
Dang.
And it's a half chapter.
They put all of the meat in that chapter to be done with it.
Tide us over.
Yeah, but then we get some really good stuff later on, so...
Yeah.
That could have been a few different chapters, honestly.
It could have.
It could have been, yeah.
It could have been. But it was a good one, so I'm not complaining.
All right, do we want to move to chapter 17? Questions of Control.
Yes, also an excellent one.
Spanky spanks.
So,
let's bring the beans.
yeah, so we have an Aes
That's
Sedai.
what the beans... Oh my god, it just clicked what the beans meant.
Do you know that, there's a few Discord server I'm on that have as an emoji the Eins canned beans, just for that.
Oh my god. It just clicked what you meant by it. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what is Kimmy talking about? I understand now. Please continue.
The beans.
The beans, yes, the beans.
So we have first is a Cadsuane point of view where we have an Aes Sedai from Rand's loyal Aes Sedai's interrogating Semirog but not getting anywhere, and Cadsuane is eavesdropping outside. Cadsuane kind of works through what would break Semirog and what would break her, and she realizes it's the fact that they've been treating her with awe because she's this mythical figure from thousands of years ago, and that's the mistake that they've been making. So she inside she hears Semirog's food spill and Semirog insisting that it be replaced. So instead she goes in and spanks Semirog until she agrees to eat it off the floor.
Yeah, and there it is.
Which is just a very badass chapter.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.
One of the few moments when the Kinks were kinking as best as they could.
Oh, yeah.
The Kinks aligned.
The Kinks aligned.
The Kinks aligned, yes.
I don't even have a bad things to say about this, because even if the spanking is very annoying in those books, I don't see any other, like, it is humiliating to get spanked. It's like, you're just a person, you're almost a child even. It's...
Yeah, and it's perfect for Semirog specifically, because she is the S&M queen, but she is, in the scenario, she is the one causing the pain, always. And she is not, humiliation kink is very much not her thing. At least on the receiving end of that, as we find out.
I wonder how hard it was for Brandon Sanderson to write this chapter. You know, being the good boy next door Mormon that he is, like.
I misheard what you said for a second, Matt. I had to run that back in my mind.
You can stop now. I know where you went with it, and you can stop.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I completely missed it. Someone's gonna have to explain.
Oh, Kat, I am so sorry. That was not. Oh no. All I meant to say is
how difficult it must have been.
How difficult it must have been.
I was like, are we?
We're not going there.
Oh, okay.
We're not going there.
Okay.
This is not a safe podcast for anybody.
This is not a safe podcast for Brandon Sanderson.
Apparently.
We were talking about Brandon Sanderson's erection, Camille.
See, I've missed like 3 sentences that Matt said because I got distracted by ADHD. And I don't know what happened. I will have to check the recording. But luckily for me is that since I'm doing the post-production, I will check the recording.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, boy.
For the record, I didn't say anything bad. It was just misunderstood on everybody else's parts. I was a good little boy.
It was just, okay.
Well, okay. We're really leaning into the whole S&M thing. Anyway.
Diminutive. What did good girl get corrected to? And by Grammarly?
Mindful and demure.
No, there was that meme that was like, good girl.
Oh, what was it? I'll
have to scroll through our Discord.
Yeah, I don't remember now.
I don't think I know that one. But anyway, Cadsuane. I was thinking about her when we were talking about Elaida beating up Egwene, because Cadsuane at least can read a room and understand that beating up Semirag actually wouldn't do anything.
Exactly. Because, even, when it happens, when she's doing it, Semirag's reaction is not because it's not the pain, it's the humiliation that's getting her.
Yeah.
Which is what Cadsuane realizes. That's what she recognizes, because she comes to the uncomfortable realization that her and Semirag are a little bit more alike than she would maybe enjoy or appreciate, or,
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that really clicks for her is the fact that Cadsuane has cultivated this mythical status for herself in the White Tower.
Yeah.
And she realizes how that would break her if someone was like, oh, who's this? And then not care when she said Cadsuane.
Yeah.
Also, it was satisfactory small woman.
Satisfactory small woman.
Good girl. Satisfactory small woman.
Amazing. Satisfactory small woman. That's somehow words. I hate that. Oh my god.
Yeah. So Semirag ate some beans.
Yep, she did indeed. She ate them right off the floor.
And that's pretty much everything that happens in those 8 pages. And I love that Cadsuane is like, yes, let's bring all of the Aes Sedai to watch, and let's bring that kitchen girl again too.
And you know what? Go grab that serving boy too. Grab him.
Grab everyone and their mother and their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the babies.
And then after she's like, she recognizes oh my god, my hand is really sore. She's like, oh, also, by the way, maybe bring a brush next time, because this is gonna wear out your hand.
Yeah. You may want
my
to
God.
begin carrying a hairbrush with you. I love that for that. I love how she kind of hesitated before saying that. She was like, can I? It's really because she was realizing that even when the other Aes Sedai was threatening Semirhage, there was still some reverence in the way they were talking to the Forsaken. Because she's a Forsaken, she's this almost mythological figure. And like, it's not really a meet your hero kind of situation, but kind of almost because super powerful Aes Sedai from the past.
Right.
And that's what makes Cadsuane tilt, like this noticing that despite threatening her, you're still respecting her.
Yeah.
I came in and thought that I heard Cadsuane's tits,
Oh.
but it was what makes Cadsuane tick.
Yes.
So just had to clarify that.
Yes, Cadsuane's tits.
I'm sure those are good tits. So, I mean, good for her.
I'm sure they're great tits. I'm sure they are. All tits are great tits.
That is true.
All tits matter.
Yes.
All tits matter. Yeah.
Absolutely they do.
Makes the tits great again.
No.
No.
All tits are already great.
They're already great, Camille.
True. All tits are... Somewhere in there is the title.
And talking about big tits, so then it's about Perrin.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are we going with this?
I was like, where's this going?
Because
That's
it's
good,
muscle
though.
ball. It's muscle ball. I'm sure he got big tits.
Yeah.
He got the mommy milkers.
His big tits don't lie.
That's right.
I mean, he does in season 2 or season 1.
Season
when he's
1.
being healed. When you get his nice, like, side view of his chest all, like, muscled together.
Squished together.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, James, since you actually enjoyed that POV, what happens there?
It was very short. It was nice to see Perrin, like, I don't know. Perrin is talking to Grady, and Grady is like, he's too exhausted to weave a gateway because there's like tens or hundreds of thousands of people, and they're just going to instead open a small number of gateways each day, and then Perrin decides that he's going to return to the Wolf Dream.
Yeah.
I just like Perrin going back to the Wolf Dream.
I did too.
He's not there yet, but
It's not
he's
there yet.
deciding to go back.
Which is good.
Anytime Perrin makes a decision, like a decisive, like he makes decisive action, I'm proud of him. Because he doesn't do that often. Or it's slow coming, I should say.
Very rare.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not very quick.
My issue is that the last time we saw him, he was doing nothing, and then at the end of it, decided, oh, maybe it's time to move. And in this chapter, he was doing nothing, and then decided, oh, maybe I should dream. I'm like,
He's getting there.
He's just
slowly.
yeah.
Let me look at for the next Perrin chapter.
He takes his time. Now, if in the next chapter he's not in the Wolf Dream, I'm going to
He
be
is.
a little bit... Oh, good. Okay. Good job, Perrin.
And it's next week.
It's going to take him 10 books to get into the Wolf Dream.
Yeah. Not books.
No, after the last battle, it's just 5 books of Perrin just standing around and saying, I should get into the Wolf Dream.
I should get into the Wolf Dream.
And rescue Fael.
But no, not much happens. I don't know. I like seeing Perrin as a leader. I don't know. Maybe I'm just high right now. I don't know.
I mean,
That's valid.
the funny thing is that it's not much of a leader that it is dealing with all of the logistic of the amount of people that are following him. And it feels like for a long time, he didn't have to deal with those because other people were taking those decisions for him, especially like Fael. And now we're reaching a point where he has to deal with that, but didn't really got, the ramp up. Because since he wasn't dealing with that at the beginning, but now he has to when he has a bunch of men with him and a bunch of refugees with him. And I don't know, I find it interesting in a sense that he feels very naive to some aspect of, okay, what it means to actually move that many people.
Right.
But he's learning, I guess.
Yeah.
That's gross.
And I mean, it's got to be, I think too, for Perrin, and this is something that I have to remind myself too, like for let's say like Rand, for example. The people that are following Rand, he doesn't know them. He's not previously acquainted with them. Some of the people that are following Perrin, they're people he's known his whole life.
Yeah.
They're people from the Two Rivers. And now all of a sudden he is in charge of them. And they are looking up to him for guidance and for instruction and all of that. And that's got to be a very odd shift. Like that is, it's difficult to get used to. And so while sometimes, I rag on Perrin a little bit of being a little slow to getting into leadership and whatnot, it's got to be difficult. It's got to be a difficult shift for him, because he's already, like, he is not the type of person who he doesn't do change well. I don't think. And so this level of change, I'm sure, is it has him kind of on his heels constantly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making fun of him, but same with respect to leadership, in the sense that I'm at least 10 years older than him, and I get very overwhelmed as soon as I have any sort of leadership role at work. I mean, I'm slowly growing up to that, but it takes time, it takes confidence. Yeah. It's hard. And he's been just pushed into it without even... He didn't even go for promos. The promotion was given to him, which, lucky for him, but also it sucks. And as you said, like, some of the Two River people were like already elders when he was growing up. So people he had to respect and had to follow whatever they were saying, and now they have to follow what he is saying. And that's a reversal that can be tricky.
Yeah. And it's not even like they're not being forced to do it. They want to do this.
Yeah.
They they see him as their Lord, like as the Lord. Not the Lord, capital L, but a Lord. And so it's got to be very confusing to sort of make that shift in your brain. But he's coming along. He's just plodding along. It's taken some time,
which is fine.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else on this chapter?
I don't think so.
No, there's not much that happens.
Yeah,
it bored me.
Yeah, no, it's too small part, because Cadsuane is like, on my book, it's like 8 pages and Perrin it's 6. So it's a very short chapter. And then we get a chapter with Swan.
Yay.
Which I was happy about, because it's a chapter with Swan with no Gareth Bryan.
Yes. Always a win.
It's rare enough that it merits to be mentioned. It deserves to be mentioned.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
She does think about it, because of course she has laundry with her.
Of course.
Laundry.
But it's her laundry this time, so that's also a step up.
And she ended up not having to do the laundry, which is also a step up.
A win all around.
And so things are going on in the rebels camp. There's actually quite an animation right next to the, I guess, leadership tent of the Aes Sedai, because the camp has just learned that Elaida knows about traveling. Of course, that news was given to a meeting that was not sealed to the flame. So Swan is immediately asking, okay, can we at least seal that so that people around that are just listening move on? But it's too late. Everyone is already panicking. I will mention that Swan is the only one smart enough to think about warning the army. The people that are actually ensuring that nobody leaves Tarvalon. Maybe tells them that they could be surprised that it's not worth it anymore. Could be good, because, hey, Swan is smart. And then an old novice, Sharina, goes to Swan to gossip a little bit, in a way, in a sense that it's strange that the meeting was not sealed to the flame when Lilane was asked repeatedly to seal it to the flame and denied it a few times. It is curious. What is Lilane trying to do? So, another kind of short chapter, I would say, about what's going on in the rebel camp. But news gets learned and politics happens.
Yeah. I think it's a good indication of or a good showing, I guess, of how quickly things are kind of devolving now with Egwene gone. Because I mean, and Swan recognizes this because at the end she's basically like, please hurry the fuck up and get out of there and get back here because God,
Yeah.
because she realizes and correctly realizes that Lelaine is trying to incite panic, so that she gets a firmer hold on things, which we've unfortunately seen, we've seen leaders and whatnot do this throughout history. It is unfortunately a tactic that a lot of
evil people,
dictators use.
Yeah.
Not great people use. It's because fear is unfortunately a very powerful motivator.
Yeah.
And that's what she's trying to do.
I did enjoy the discussion with Shaina, the novice, because Tuan is a bit surprised about why would she give us this insight in what Lelaine is doing. But then she realized, I don't remember whether Shaina tells her or Swan realizes it, but Lelaine is very traditional, and there wouldn't be any way for Shaina to keep learning as a novice because she basically signed the book very late, or at least she would never become an Aes Sedai on the tower led by Lelaine. Which sucks.
I was just looking at the wiki, and apparently this is the last we see of Sharina.
Oh, that's too bad.
Really?
I like her.
Yeah, I think she's a very interesting character, but apparently she doesn't do anything else after this.
That's annoying.
Well, so many characters.
I know.
Look, every single one of the 2,750 characters needs a lot of screen time.
Needs some closure. What happened to Aes Sedai number 37 after the last battle? We have to know, Robert.
We gotta know.
We have to know. Or
Tell us.
Michael Livingston, I guess now.
But yeah, it's I like anytime Swan gets to show how smart she is. And I don't mean show necessarily other people, because she's very pointedly, and she kind of fails at this and recognizes this. She was trying to not show how, amazing she is, basically. She was trying to downplay herself, but can't help but let that show. Because that's she radiates this authority, even in this sort of brought down position that she's in, this sort of depowered position. She still has this just sort of innate authority to her. And throughout the series, different characters have remarked on that. And it's cool to see that sort of is still a thing where, she just immediately takes control of the situation, and other novices and accepted around, they immediately show her deference. They show her respect. And then of course she realizes oh shit, I was supposed to be downplaying myself, but she can't help it. It's just her,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was right after that moment. There's actually a moment you were mentioning earlier about how she's realizing that she's partially responsible for the tower crumbling. And yeah, I was rereading that, and I really enjoy how she has this reflection about herself, and taking into account that she wasn't perfect as Namirine, and having the humility to recognize that in a way. And there's one paragraph that about the Dragon Reborn. The Dragon Reborn was important, but he was only one figure in the weaving of these final days. It was too easy to forget that, too easy to watch the dramatic figure of legend and forget everyone else. And that's really what happened with Swan and Moraine. They focused on that. They focused on Rand. Swan especially kind of forgot to see what was right under her nose with the upcoming coup. So
the forest from the trees.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what Egwene was saying a couple chapters ago. If the tower is broken, if the last battle comes, then what? We have a broken tower. Then what do we do? And Swan kind of comes to the same realization that, like, yes, the Dragon Reborn is important. Yes, obviously the last battle is important, but there are other players and other pieces to this, and those pieces kind of need to, come together as well.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it for those 3 chapters. I know we used to do like those sad boy moments and what was Burn of the Week. Do you have some of those? I didn't have like specific moment for either.
I mean, Burn of the Week is pretty obvious.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like a couple of us probably have the same Burn of the Week, because how can you not?
I mean,
I didn't have a sad boy moment. I was thinking of it as I was reading through, but I didn't really have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sad boy moments are never really easy for me to pick because I'm just like reading along and all the boys are depressed. So
yeah, from a sad boy moment, I was like, well, everything about Perrin, the whole Perrin POV sad boy moment. For the Burn of the Week, I didn't have specific sentence because there's so many things that Egwene says that are just...
it's the whole scene.
Every single sentence that she says to Elaida is a burn. Like the whole scene is a big burn. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Pretty much the whole chapter is a burn. I mean, it's the burn of the book, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
The Burn of the Week was invented for that moment.
Pretty much.
Exactly. I'm just trying to, because I want to read the one specific, the really good one. I'm trying to get to it in my e-reader, but my e-reader is so slow. I would name you Dark Friend, but
Yeah.
Oh.
He'd be embarrassed by the association.
that's the one.
I have it in front of me if you want.
Oh, do you? Perfect. Yeah, go for it.
Elaida's eyes flared wide. How dare you? I dare the truth, Elaida, Egwene said quietly. You are a coward and a tyrant. I'd name you Dark Friend as well, but I suspect that the Dark One would perhaps be embarrassed to associate with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the next line is like, Elaida screech.
Yes.
Because, I mean, honestly, what else do you say to that? It's Elaida, for the first time ever, Elaida had the correct reaction. Because what else can you do but screech to that?
I mean, and also whenever Elaida talks, stupid comes out. So her screeching was far more intelligent than any of her verbal words.
That's probably true. Okay. Well, on this, thank you very much for listening to this episode of The Queers of Time. You can find us on most social media. There's been a switch from the Hell platform to Blue Sky. So I personally am a lot more on Blue Sky these days than I am on Twitter.
Same.
Me too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's relaxing. People are chill there. I highly recommend it. And you can also find us on Discord. We have a Discord. It's pretty animated these days. We have random discussion every day at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
My time. Or your time.
I was going to say it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. my time.
It's noon my time, I think.
Something like that. I don't know.
Early afternoon my time.
And that's nice. And we also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. This is always appreciated. And that's about it.
Next discussion, we have a 2-on chapter, a Matt chapter,
okay.
and then a Perrin chapter.
Oh, God.
A mixed bag with that one.
That is a triple whammy of shit.
I'm not going to be there.
But it's Perrin in the dream. It's in the wolf. I know you're not going to be there.
Perrin is in the wolf dream.
Perrin is in the wolf dream. So it could be good.
So I was looking at the episode list release date, and I think the episode we're currently recording may be the last one of 2024.
I think so, yes.
Well, here's to 2025. Whatever the fuck is gonna happen then.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
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 Thank you all for listening. This was Queers of Time, a Wheel of Time podcast. The music is Dance of the Witches by Julius H.